Daggers are the fastest physical weapon in Frostborn, but they are mostly used in the wrong situations. You must first know that sneaking is the key for daggers, and it can easily be concepted as the weakest weapon in the game. You must first know thy dagger to know thy weapon. The Rusty Dagger is weaker than the wooden spear. Yes, you heard me right. Yes, you see a 32 sneak and a 12 follow-up, but that is because of the instigator helmet and boots that increase damage to monsters. When attacking from behind whilst being in this rogue class, you get more damage, as you can see, but this dagger is stupidly weak. It's only powered up if you're fighting monsters or if you're hitting a player from behind in certain situations. This horse thing here as well is mostly used wrong. It's either for escape or for basically if you're taking out someone with a sneak attack and you see someone, you loot the body quickly and then you get out the zone instantly. People use it wrong in two ways. One, they use an expensive dagger to do it, and the second, you know, just in dumb ways. You can use this dagger to attack. As you can see, I do damage to this drugger thing here. A lot of people are like, it doesn't. It does. It's just whilst in the horse and you activate the skill, you have to press attack, otherwise it does no damage. The sneaker damage can go to 78 with the green new ritual dagger. The ritual dagger is a green dagger that you can actually make, so it's pretty good. It's pretty swift, and its standard hit is on 20, so it's pretty reliable. But then when you want to do a damage buff with the food, it goes to a crazy 80. Daggers are ridiculous for sneak attack, especially whilst being in rogue status. 22 becomes a normal standard hit after that. Now we've got the blade. The blade dagger is a stronger weapon. It's a bit slower, but obviously it gives you a higher sneak of 107. And this is with the buff 116 with sneak attack with the skill, but with the instigator added to it on top, it goes to 139 standard sneak. Now these damages have already reached epic damage, okay, and these is still the green weapon, but this is on the assumption as if you can sneak everything. So sadly, back in the old Frostborn, you could actually sneak bosses, but you can't anymore, and that's quite disappointing. Now we're going on to the cursed dagger. The cursed dagger is now the new dagger you can make. The piercing dagger was the dagger you could make before, but now it's the cursed dagger. With the cursed dagger, you do a standard sneak special damage of 133, which obviously is greatly higher than the green uncommon weapons, and a standard of 123. With the buff increased, the damage now goes up to a crazy 135, and then a standard of 38. Obviously with sneak damage it goes to 146 with sneak special. It's just crazy. Oh my god, it's just so nuts. So obviously if you got the instigator, your new standard with the piercing dagger is quite high as well, 164. Obviously with the buff induced with the instigator on, it goes to 196. Again, instigator only works on monsters, so you can't add this to players. There's a different class for players, and that's called assassin, but we're not talking about classes here today. If you want to talk about classes, just check on the top right of the screen and it will be like a coming soon thing at some point. Alright, so as you can see here, to use the piercing dagger correctly, you've got to basically lower the defense, then switch to the weapon you want to create damage to. A lot of people spam piercing dagger. That is the wrong way to use it. Piercing dagger is a single hitting weapon, and then you switch to it. Like on bosses especially, piercing dagger it really comes into its own. Obviously you can do a bowler as well, that people forget as well, and obviously when you can eventually get around your enemy, you can still do that sneak damage of 45. Okay, it's not sneak damage, it's back damage, which is the same equivalent as having a sorcerer class. As you can see here, 160 again on the cursed dagger, and obviously I'm switching now to the piercing dagger for some results. Probably gonna go for this archer maybe next. And then we'll go for this Hermit, the Piercing Dagger. There we go, lower defense, switch to the other blade. There you go, 7 HP left. So that's how you use a Piercing Dagger. And obviously when fighting monsters as well, wear the Instigator. Alright, and you'll get hit a lot less and you'll make the weapon go a lot further. Now the Cutler Gleam is a purple dagger, right? It's fast, it hits high damage, there's no special effects on it as such, but it does give 94 damage on Berserk Potion. On Sneak it goes to 305! Oh! And then 468 on the new dagger, which we want to talk about now, which is the Fire Dagger. The Fire Dagger is redonkulous. As you can see, 465 is redonkulous. It takes out giants pretty much one hit if you're not in Odin's. But this Fire Dagger, you use it in Odin's 100%. Do not use this in Tombs or anything like that. The Gleam and the Fire Dagger, Odin's only. Seriously. Now the burn damage is free only twice, so it's the same kind of fire damage as a torch. I've not been able to test it with the back damage with the burn because I need to go to Odin's, and Odin's is resetting right now, sadly, so it's a bit difficult. Now let's talk about another class, the Bandit, where you do more damage when your enemy is immobilized. Now you can't really do any sneak. As you can see here, I'm immobilizing and it doesn't work with the Bowman. So sadly you can't get any crazy bonus damage off other items, but as you can see, when I use a dagger I get more damage. 11 basic, and then no, 8 basic and 11 when they're immobilized. So if we switch to now the Ritual Dagger and we immobilize him, the stun bomb doesn't count. So stuns or anything that does stuns like Stun Hammer, that is a myth. It doesn't count for Bandit. It doesn't give you more damage. Only the skill that the Bandit uses that gives you the extra damage, and bowlers as well. Bowlers count the same way. The only difference between them is if you do the skill with the character, you get 10 damage extra. With the bowler, there's no extra damage. Obviously, you can do this really good with a player, stun them and do lower dagger and then switch dagger. It's amazing. You lower the defense and then you hit them. That's when Piercing Dagger really comes in. And with the Gleam, it's 65. And then obviously with the Fire Dagger, it is 65 still, because it's the same amount of damage the Fire Dagger and the Gleam Dagger. It's just the Fire Dagger does burning damage on top and it's a bit slower. So yeah.